What's up, everybody? It is Frankie here, and welcome to the 2023 NFL Week 4 predictions. Week 3 brought along some great moments. We saw the Dolphins score 70 points. We saw the Texans and Cardinals pull off shocking upsets, and we saw some pop singer show up to the Kansas City Chiefs game. I don't know who she is, but whatever. All that aside, it is time to focus on Week 4, and just to get it off the top here, just to clarify, we are picking every game except for Bengals, Titans, Rams, Colts, Bucks, Saints, and Commanders, Eagles, because all of those games involve teams that are playing tonight, and I want to wait for those games to finish before I make my picks for those games. Anyway, on to Week 4. We start with the Thursday night game, the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. The Lions are 2-point favorites. A pretty dominant performance on the defensive side from Detroit here yesterday against the Falcons. We saw the Lions pass rush really step up after the first 2 weeks where they only had 1 sack in those first 2 weeks. We saw 7 total sacks on Desmond Ridder, 2 of them by Aiden Hutchinson. The defense really stepped up here in this game. We saw a nice game from Sam Laporta, the rookie tight end. 8 receptions for 84 yards, including his first career touchdown. An encouraging performance from Detroit because we were all buying into them after week 1. They fell apart last week, and then they really showed up here in week 3. Made us believe in them again. Green Bay, that was a terrific win against New Orleans. Being down 17-0 after 3 quarters, and you don't have your best running back, and you don't have your top receiver, and you don't have your top 2 offensive linemen, and it didn't matter. They were fantastic. Jordan Love, that is the kind of game, if you're a Packers fan, you got to feel so good about where Green Bay is going forward, because Jordan Love, in a huge moment, down 17-0, stepped up. 3 fourth-quarter scoring drives after week 2, in which he had a terrible potential game-winning drive. He stepped up in this game, and that was the kind of game that makes you think, all right, maybe Jordan Love has got something here going forward. Look, Green Bay's already had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Favre and Rodgers. Maybe they have a third. Maybe it's a little too far or too early to go that far, but he's certainly shown me a lot here in the last few weeks, and I think he'll show us some more here in this game. Thursday night game at home. I think Green Bay is going to have a raucous crowd behind them, and I think Love is going to show a little bit more. I still think both of these teams, I still think Detroit is going to have a good year going forward, but in this game, I just think Green Bay at home. I think Love's going to show me something, and I think Green Bay gets the win. Give me the Packers +2. The Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. 9:30 ESPN Plus game here on Sunday. The Jaguars are 3-point favorites. Rough performance from Atlanta. Their offense really fell apart here in this game. Desmond Ridder, he was under duress all game, as we mentioned. 7 sacks for him. Run game couldn't get anything going. Ridder was not very accurate. He missed Drake London on a 4th down conversion. He was 21 for 37, 201 yards, sack, and a fumble. The run game only averaged 2 yards a carry. Disappointing performance there from Atlanta. And then we had Jacksonville, who, that was against Houston, a pretty bad Houston team. And I was a believer in Jacksonville. I was thinking that they were going to have a good year. I was really buying into them after the comeback last year against the Chargers. And in this game, they let a fullback return a kickoff 85 yards. Oh, God. It makes you really concerned about it. Coming into this game, they were 31st in third downs, 17th in yards per game, and they just got destroyed by a team that was winless and was down 8 starters and was led by a rookie QB, and they got trounced by the Falcons, or by the Texans, excuse me. It's a rough one there for Jacksonville. It really makes you worry going forward. That may have been the worst loss we've ever seen from Jacksonville in a while. I saw some Jaguars fans that were really just could not believe how bad they looked, especially against Houston. But I think in this game, they'll bounce back. I think Jacksonville is better than this. They're at their home away from home in London. And I think in this game, and the London games are always hard to predict. But in this one, sure, I'll go with Jacksonville. 3 points, and I think they've got to be better than what they are. Against Houston, I think they'll step up, and I think they will win this one. Give me the Jaguars, -3. The Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 2.5-point favorites. What else is there to say about what the Miami Dolphins did yesterday? 70 points, 726 yards, and they did all of that while Waddle was on the sideline. Incredible. The most points we've seen in the NFL in the Super Bowl era since the 1960s. I believe 726 yards of total offense. I believe that is an NFL record. One of the most dominating, maybe the most dominating performance on offense we have ever seen, at least in my lifetime. It was a sensational outing from the Dolphins. And Tua right now, he's clearly the MVP favorite. You can never count out Mahomes, but Tua right now is the MVP favorite the way he's been playing right now. Devontae Ackley, he's going to get a lot of love in the fantasy waiver wire this week. First prominent game, and he completes 233 total yards and 4 total touchdowns and almost has 50 fantasy points. Just an insane performance out of him. Miami's defense also forced multiple turnovers. They look like a great team. They look like a real legit team here. I mean, we've known that for a while, but their offense really, that was a special kind of performance. And I know Denver's falling apart here, but that was still a great performance, a special performance. And I was amazed to watch that. I was so honored. Honored is a weird way to put it, but I was kind of honored to be able to watch that game. And then Buffalo, dominating as well. It was the second most dominating performance by an AFC East team yesterday as they trounced Washington. Josh Allen reminding people what he is. Like, I think now, okay, the Josh Allen doubt can go away for a while. That was a pretty fantastic performance. Still worry about their red zone offense. I mean, they didn't really do a good job in that. They had chances today to score touchdowns, but they settled for field goals, but nitpicking. The defense really got a lot of pressure going today. 7 sacks of Sam Howell, 4 interceptions, including a pick 6. And it was because people were starting to wonder about Washington. Could they be a potential sleeper going forward? And Allen just shut everyone down there with the defense just really shut Washington down there. This is a tough game to pick. I definitely see these two teams potentially playing in the playoffs, having a playoff rematch later this year. I'm going to roll with the Dolphins. After the 70.1, somebody has to win this game, and it will be a high-flying game. Whatever the over-under is, take the over. But I'm going to roll with the Dolphins here. I'm going to roll with Tua. Two of the best quarterbacks in the league, but I think Tua gets the edge. Tua and Tyreek Hill pull it off, and the Dolphins win this one on the road. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be an exciting game. I'm sad that it's a 1 o'clock game. It deserves to be the Sunday night game instead of Chiefs-Jets, but this is the one we get, and we're all going to enjoy it. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and I think the Dolphins win it. Give me the Dolphins plus 2.5. Broncos-Bears. Oof. Sean Payton is just Mike McCarthy, but thinner. That's really my takeaway from him. Denver is just oof. And Russell Wilson, just what a horrible way to end. I think a horrible way to end his career. Chicago is just, they've got nothing going for them right now, getting destroyed by Kansas City. I'll take the Bears, but God, this game sucks. I got nothing to say. The Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are 2-point favorites. Rough loss for Baltimore after I was starting to feel really good about the Ravens offense. I was liking what they were doing here. And in this game, they missed 4 injured starters. And it showed here in this game. They had two turnovers. They really didn't move the ball. Lamar, he did run for 100 yards for the first time since week 3 of last year, so that was good to see. But it just wasn't enough in this game. Justin Tucker missed a really pivotal kick. I mean, it was a long pick, but we've seen him make those kicks before. He couldn't get it done here in this spot. The run defense gave up 122 yards to Zach Moss. A struggle in that game. Cleveland really stepped up. Deshaun Watson, got to give him credit. He looked fantastic. That was the best we've seen from him in a while. I don't know if he's worth the money. He's still got to do it in a couple more games before I'm able to sit there and go, oh, yeah, he's worthy of this contract. But that was a bounce back performance from him. The Cleveland defense really, really just was electric. Minus 7 yards rushing in the first half for Derrick Henry. That is a fantastic, fantastic outing for them. They've not allowed a single field goal from the red zone. Or they've now allowed, they only allowed 1 single field goal from the red zone. They've been a top tier defense. Myles Garrett, especially, maybe the defensive player of the year when it's all said and done. 2.5 sacks in the first half. So this is going to be an interesting division matchup. And the Ravens are underdogs here, which I know Cleveland's at home, but I just think Baltimore's a better team. I think in this game they'll show it. I don't know who's going to be back for this game. I don't know who's going to be healthy, but I do think the Ravens in this game will cover the spread, and I think they'll win it. Close matchup, but I think Lamar gets the edge here over Deshaun, and that will carry Baltimore to a win. Give me the Ravens, plus 2. The Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. The Vikings are 3-point favorites. That was a Vikings-Chargers game that we saw. Just both teams. That was exactly what I expected it to be. Both teams trying to give the game away, and the Vikings just gave it away a little bit more than the Chargers. And Brandon Staley should give Minnesota a fruit basket or something because he saved his job. They had him save his job. They made him save his job for at least one more week with the performance, how bad they looked. They're now 0-3. They got some tough opponents coming up. Carolina, I don't think, is one of them, but it looks like already that this team is going to be not going far. It looks like that whole, we thought they were frauds last year, and they've proven that they're frauds this year. I mean, at least you had a nice game from Alexander Mattison, 93 yards on 20 carries. But yeah, and it was nice, as the Vikings acquire Cam Akers here. We'll see how he looks going forward. But yeah, last 0-3 team to make the playoffs was the Texans 2018. I don't see that happening here at Minnesota. They just got too many problems. And Carolina, I mean, it was nice seeing Andy Dalton out there, but Bryce Young's hurt. But yeah, that was a loss against Seattle. I'm gonna go with Minnesota. As troubling as it is for Minnesota right now, I don't think they're this bad, and I think they will win at least against Carolina, even though they're on the road. Give me the Vikings minus 3. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. The Steelers are 3.5-point favorites. Redemption game for the Steelers offense after a horrendous night against Cleveland on Monday. They stepped up here on Sunday night. We had 2 touchdown passes from Kenny Pickett. We had some really well-executed plays from Pittsburgh side. They had play action. They had misdirection. Matt Canada, can calm everybody down here. People wanted his head last week, and in this game, he was much more dynamic. The Steelers offense had 362 yards, their first 300-yard game of the season. We'll see if they can continue that. Their run defense also really stepped up here. They limited Josh Jacobs to only 62 yards. So that was a bounce-back game for the Steelers here. And now they get Houston, who I know Houston won against Jacksonville, but I'm not expecting. I think that was just a lark. I think the Steelers will, hopefully they can, for Steelers fans' sake, hopefully they will show more of that brilliance that we saw in the preseason. I think they will in this game. Against the Houston team, they should be able to do that. Give me the Steelers -3.5. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. I almost said San Diego. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are 4.5-point favorites. Tough loss for the Raiders against the Steelers. Kicking the field goal down 8 when you're inside the red zone. Just another reason why Josh McDaniels should not be an NFL head coach. I feel like he's proven that time and time again, but especially here. Chargers, they almost chargered this game up. It's never easy with the Chargers, but they got the win because Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen really stepped up together. Keenan Allen, 18 catches for 215 yards, setting the Chargers record for single-game receiving yards. He also threw a touchdown pass to Mike Williams. Pretty special day for Keenan Allen. The Chargers secondary is really killing them right now. Their pass defense has been among the worst in the NFL, and they really showed that here in this game. And I know they were up against Justin Jefferson, but they had a lot of big plays given up in this game, and they won because their offense has been able to carry the defense here. In this game, though, we should see more. Yes, the Chargers defense will struggle in this game, but I think their offense will step up. We're going to see another great game from Herbert, from Allen, and I think the Chargers will win this one. It's a 4.5-point spread, and with all the problems the Raiders have, I think the Chargers will win this one handily. Give me the Chargers -4.5. The New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are 7-point favorites. I almost don't want to consider that a win for the Patriots because you were going up against Zach Wilson, and I will talk about my displeasure with him in just a second. Ezekiel Elliott had a solid game here. 80 yards on 16 carries. Yeah, now he gets to. That is going to be the story of this game. Is the Ezekiel Elliott revenge game? Ezekiel comes back to where he played his first 7 years. So I'm excited to see how that's going to be. I mean, that's going to be all it's talked about. Good to see Zeke out there. Hopefully we can see more of him in this New England offense. Hoping to improve, help Mac Jones out. And Mac wasn't, I feel like, great today, but he was better than Zach, so that's all you can ask for. Good game from Farrell Brown as well. He had a 58-yard catch and run touchdown, which really, again, the Jets blew that coverage, but it was a pretty nice touchdown there. Helped give New England the win. Dallas, that was the kind of loss that I was expecting. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to lose to Arizona, but that was the kind of game that I'm like, I expected Dallas to have that game at some point. They were unbelievable in the first 2 games against the Jets and the Giants. Totally dominant. And then they go up against arguably the worst team in the NFL and get completely dismantled in every facet of the game. It seemed like they weren't prepared. In every aspect, they just looked completely outmatched. And I know they had 3 starting linemen out, but you can't be that bad against the Cardinals. What are you doing there? But I expect them, they're going to be at home. I expect them to be better in this game. And I think they will show up more. I think they will win this one. I thought about taking New England because it is a big spread. But I think Dallas and Dak, they'll step up. They'll be back to where they belong. I think that was just a really rough game from them. I'm still not trusting Dallas going forward, but I think that was just a weird, wacky game for Dallas. They will step up here. They will deliver. Give me the Cowboys -7. The Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are 14-point favorites. Congrats to Arizona on the win. That was impressive. But now you go up against arguably the best team in the NFL, at least here the first 3 weeks. Another 30-point game. Another game where Brock Purdy looks okay, and it doesn't matter because he's still scoring 30. He's leading the team. At this point, what else can Purdy do? I was talking to a friend of mine. I was talking about, do we trust Brock Purdy? But I also just pointed out, what else does he need to do? Maybe he's not Mahomes. Maybe he's not Hurts. Maybe he's not Tua. But you know what? The guy, all he does is win. All he does is win. He takes this. Yes, he's got the keys to a Ferrari. But you know what? He's not crashing it. So credit to him on what he's been able to do here. And now he goes up against one of the worst teams in the NFL. I expect this to be a dominating win. I expect the Niners offense to just run all over the Cardinals. I don't think Arizona's going to get anything going on the offensive side with that defense. This will be a complete, total win. And good job also on the Niners on getting extensions for Shanahan and Lynch. They deserved it. And they're going to be in the Niners fold for a while, and deservedly so, because they've done a great job building this team up, and I expect they're going to culminate that signing with a pretty substantial win. Give me the Niners, -14 over Arizona. The Kansas City Swifts against the New York Jets. The Swifts are 9-point favorites. I mean, that's really the story from this game. Chiefs look great. Who cares? Mahomes, he may have injured his ankle, but fine. It looked like he's going to be healthy. Fine. Chiefs offense is back to where it was. Fine. That is not the story. The story is that Miss Americana herself showed up at this game and then walked out with Travis Kelce, and they were photographed driving around Kansas City together, which, boy, that must be a crazy sight to see. You're driving around Kansas City, and they're in a convertible right next to you is Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. What the hell? Oh my, that is, I mean, I don't know what the whole thing on that is, but you know what? Good for Travis Kelce. Seems like a good guy, and congratulations. You know, he scored once on the field, and maybe he scored once off the field last night. Congratulations to him. And they should win this one going away. They should win this one. All you need to know about the Jets is that Robert Saleh says he is still starting Zach Wilson, even though when he speaks about Zach Wilson, he has zero confidence in his voice. It sounds like he's being held at gunpoint. He knows, we all know, Zach Wilson is trash, and he should be starting construction. He should be starting, working in garbage. He should not be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He is horrendous. He showed that again here. What he had, like 50 yards in the first half. He's terrible. The Chiefs the Swifts should absolutely annihilate the Jets here in this game. And, I mean, they showed it against Chicago, scoring on 7 straight possessions. The run game really stepped up, and I think they're just going to trounce the Jets. New York football season's already over, and I'll get to that in the next team I mentioned. But yeah, they'll show that here in this game. Give me the Swifts -9. Somebody actually got to make a Kansas City. Maybe somebody can post it for me. A Kansas City Chiefs logo. That's KS. Kansas City Swifts. The KCS. Somebody make that. Anyway, give me the Swifts -9. And on the Monday night front, the Seattle Seahawks take on the New York Giants. The Seahawks are a 1.5 favorites. Seattle, even with all these injuries, they were missing 7 starters. They lost 2 more. Didn't matter. They put up 37 on Carolina. Their offense was really good game from them. Geno had a nice, impressive game. Jason Myers made all 5 of his field goal attempts. Good win for Seattle, and I expect them to trounce the Giants. I just got to have this rant about the Giants. Why does this team still on primetime? I love the Giants for the Giants. This team should not be on primetime anymore. Stop putting this team on primetime so that people realize how bad we are. Okay? Stop doing it. Why do we have to see this team on primetime again? The Jets on Sunday night and the Giants on Monday. And okay, the Jets, I guess you can't really help. You know Rodgers is going to be out, but please flex out of that game if you can. And Giants should flex out of every primetime game going forward. We don't need to see this team anymore. No one wants to watch this team anymore. They are bad. They are awful. And the Seahawks should just put the Giants out of our misery and just, oh God, the Yankees are out. The Mets are out. Jets and Giants are now both about to be just gone. Their seasons are about to be over. I think both of them are going to be lose here, and they're both going to be 1-3, which means let's go Knicks. That's all I have for right now for New York sports. Let's go Knicks. Anyway, Giants suck. Seahawks should blow right by them. Give me the Seahawks -1.5. That's it for now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to this channel and you'd like to see, make sure you subscribe down below. I'll be back tomorrow to break down the 4 other games as part of the picks: Bengals Titans, Rams Colts, Buccaneers, Saints, and Commanders and Eagles. I'll see you then. Take care, and God bless.